Starting off part 5, we have the Guardian of Wishes and the cutest Pokemon from Gen 3, Jirachi. Oh, and by the way, just because I say Jirachi is cute, doesn't mean I want to do this to her, okay? Being the lightest steel type as of now, Jirachi's design fits its power. Every 1,000 years, Jirachi shows up for 1 week and grants any wish, such as in the manga and in Jirachi Wishmaker, which I will cover first before we discuss stats. In the manga for Pokemon Adventure, she plays an important role in the Emerald Arc, awakening during the opening ceremony of the Battle Frontier and was kidnapped by the Guile hideout, or Team Aqua, or Magma in this case, or Archie, who cares. At the end of the arc, she opens her third eye to Emerald and frees Pokedex holders from being petrified. It happened in a previous arc. I don't want to explain it here. Yeah, it's confusing. But of course, it also awakened a giant Kyogre. As for the movie, Jirachi Wishmaker, she was one of the main characters alongside Ash in the game, and was used by the villain Butler. Butler is her name. To summon a fake Groudon since Butler used to be a member of Team Magma. Later on after this, Butler decides that he wants to save Jirachi, but gets observed by Groudon. Her role in the both adaptation was really good. Well, would you believe me if I said this was Tomiko Suzuki, Japanese voice actress for Jirachi's last role, dying on the day of the Tanabata, which was what Jirachi was based off of. Let's move on to stats. Jirachi's stat total is 600, and all of Jirachi's stats are 100 equal. Not too bad. Well, all I can say is, terrible joke alert! Jirachi really makes you wish upon a star. So I feel really bad about what happened to Tomiko. Let's go on to number 20. And number 20 is the savior of the weather trio, Rayquaza. Being the mascot of Pokemon Emerald, Rayquaza is a dragon that is serious about what he does, living in the ozone layer and his role being to stop the battle between Groudon and Kyogre, i.e. having the ability Airlock, which essentially stops all weather conditions, and he was able to destroy a comet in the first Mystery Dungeon game that was threatening the world. Rayquaza also holds the record for being the tallest legendary Pokemon. So, yeah, that's pretty interesting. Oh, and by the way, it's pronounced Rayquaza, not Rayquaza. I blame that on the stupid PC game. Anyway, Rayquaza's origin is based off the Hebrew legend Ziz, and 5 bucks is a misspelled Hebrew. Whatever. Now onto the stats. Rayquaza's stat total is 680, with its highest being attack and special attack. Not too bad. But you know what I find sad? In Pokemon Conquest, at the end of the game, Nobunaga, a white guy, owns a shiny Rayquaza, aka what he calls Black Rayquaza, and uses him for his own game. So overall, Rayquaza is one badass dragon. Woo! Finally, we can talk about the last of the Kami trio, Thundurus, aka my favorite Kami member. Yeah, I was the one that got Pokemon White version, so yeah, that's where I got him. I eventually got Tornadoes later. Anyway, being a legendary with the typing, thunder, and flying, I love Thundurus in many ways, from its typing to its design, but let's start with the stats. Thundurus' stat total is the same as his brother's, but the highest stat from his special attack, which works since he does have 4 stat moves by leveling up, and the moves he can learn through leveling or TMs for the most part are special moves. Hell, his Therian form possesses the highest special attack of all electric types. That is friggin' sweet! It doesn't do much in the anime or manga though, but he can be attained in the same way as Cresselia / Vesper, but he's still awesome! He's also a legendary that has an alternate form to him that I love out of the other members of the Kami trio. Yeah, sorry Tornadus, but those titties don't help. And I don't even know what the hell friggin' Landorus is about. So overall, he has one Pokemon on Cloud 9.
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am.
Oh yeah, I said it. I put Darkrai above Giratina and Cresselia. Come at me, bro. Okay, Darkrai is one Pokemon that I find to be more interesting than most of the Sinnoh legends. His role in the movie I would describe, but I never saw it. I want to explain something though. Ever since Destiny Deoxys, I never saw any of the recent movies. Even with the internet, they didn't interest me. But then my girlfriend recommended to me The Mystery of Mew, and while I was at a college program, I watched it on the bus ride there, and I loved it. Thank you, Susan. Darkrai fan. She showed me that I shouldn't judge a book by its cover, and I will eventually see this movie, but I am a little busy to do so right now. So let's keep going. In battle, Darkrai is one of the only Pokemon to have the ability of Bad Dreams, which inflicts damage to sleeping Pokemon. Yeah, so to those who think sleep is a useless status attack, Darkrai has you beat. His stats total up to 600 also, his highest being special attack. Not bad for a dark type. Hell, its speed makes it the fastest first type next to Weavile. But the thing I found that clinched it was his role in Mystery Dungeon 2. He was the main villain orchestrating the events from the main game and even prevented you from evolving. Hell, he was one of the only villains who almost succeeded in turning the hero evil, but he was just a dream. But the battle against him was cheap! Overall, Darkrai is one badass Pokemon, and Batman would benefit from him a lot because of this. They finally completed the Trinity. Number 17, please. At number 17 is a pro-choicer's worst nightmare, Mew. What is there to say about her? Being one of the main stars of the 8th and the first movie, Mew is one interesting Pokemon. If you guys remember Logan's Top 100 list, and where he mentions Mew, 2 weeks before production for Gen 1 ended, it was created. Mew was a Pokemon never discovered until 2003, when the glitch was discovered involving getting Mew by someone who has less of a life than me. Being the ancestor of all Pokemon, you know, before Arceus, Mew can learn every single move, including HMs, TMs, and move tutors, and even some Sig moves. Being based off of an embryo, Mew stats are 100 each, with it totaling up to 600. Yep, that number again. And I know I bitched about it during the Victini segment, but with Mew it works since, well, it's a balanced Pokemon. Sure, its typing isn't unique, i.e. being a mono-psychic. It has little to any personality in all media. Mew's retarded. Mew is still very cute, and you better believe me, when the event came out in North America for our 10th anniversary, I got it that first chance I got. Mew, you are awesome. Enough said. $5 says I'm gonna get some pro-choicers bitching to me in the comments. Oh well. In the Rise of the Phoenix, we have number 16, Moltres. How to describe this bird? Hey, Patrick, can you help me with this? Thank you. Being the fire of the legendary bird, Moltres has the same stat total as its siblings. Makes sense. In terms of the anime and manga, she doesn't do anything, but it's worth noting that in the manga for Generation 1 manga, Blaine had her under his possession. I cannot say anything really much about Moltres, but the reason I put Moltres above Zapdos is because of its typing. I love fire types! She is one hot bird to say the least. Shut up. So overall, I can't say much about Moltres, except kind of copy-paste over what I said about Zapdos, but one difference. It's fire! 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 To close out Part 5, we have the grass member of the Musketeer Trio, Virizion, the only Pokemon named after a phone company. Though in all seriousness, I do like her design. She's also one of the only 2 grass-fighting Pokemon thus far. That's pretty unique. In terms of stats, though, it has the same stat total as Cobalion and Keldeo, but Virizion's highest stat is Special Defense, which can reach a maximum of 392, the highest special defense of all grass and fighting type Pokemon. Yet what's funny is that despite having a low attack stack, she has 6 stab moves, at least, by leveling up. Though to be fair, these moves have the same typing as Virizion, but still. In terms of her move pool, aside from her 2 types, Virizion can learn moves from Normal, Psychic, Poison, Dark, Fire, Flying, Rock, and Bug. In terms of origin, Virizion is based off of the member of the Musketeer Trio, Aramis, sorry. And its design looks like an antelope or a female deer. So overall, although she doesn't have a role in the anime, if you're ever in a forest trying to get reception, get Virizion today. See you for Part 6.